Boys and girls, let me hope you are doing good. Stay home, stay safe. Teacher Innocent is my name, taking you through mathematics. Let's start today's lesson with a mental work exercise. Number 1, workout. 1 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4. A quarter plus a quarter. Number 2, simplify. 1 out of 6 plus 1 out of 3. A 60th plus a third. Number 3, workout. A third minus a quarter. A third minus a quarter. Number 4, work out a 9th plus a 12th minus a 60th. Work out 1 out of 9 plus 1 out of 12 minus 1 out of 6. So that is our mental exercise. Please try to work them out, and then it prepares your brain for our today's lesson. Thank you so much for working out those numbers. Let's now make a continuation of what we have been talking about, application of fractions. And this time it is something very interesting. Please have a look at our numbers here. Our number 1, tap A can fill the tank in 6 minutes, and tap B can fill the same tank in 3 minutes. How long will both taps take to fill the tank if they are opened at the same time? I told you when you are having words dealing with fractions, read it for the first time. Then the second time will help you to know what the question is all about. So let's read it for the second time. Tap A can fill the tank in 6 minutes. So if I have tap A, this is tap A, and I'm having tap B, this is tap B. Tap A and tap B, they are filling this tank. This is my tank. So tap A is filling, and even tap B is filling. But remember, tap A takes 6 minutes. And tap B takes 3 minutes. So you ask yourself, how will the minutes lead us into fractions? So boys and girls, have a look at this. If tap A takes 6 minutes and tap B takes 3 minutes, but the two taps are filling the same tank, the first thing to think about is, what fraction of the tank will tap A fill in 1 minute? What fraction of the tank will tap B fill in 1 minute? That is the first step. So we say that in 1 minute, tap A fills 1 out of 6. Since it takes 6 minutes to fill the tank, so the fraction tap A will take in 1 minute will be 1 out of 6. Then tap B fills 1 out of 3 of the tank. You get it? So tap A takes 1 out of 6. Tap B, sorry, this is tap B. So tap B takes 1 out of 3. In 1 minute, tap A takes 1 out of 6, tap B takes 1 out of 3. So if tap A takes 1 out of 6 and tap B also fills 1 out of 3 of the tank, what about both taps in 1 minute? What about both taps? What comes into your mind? Tap A is filling, tap B is also filling. So what happens when both taps are filling? So we shall get the fraction tap A takes and the fraction tap B fills. You get? Tap A fills 1 out of 6 and also tap B fills 1 out of 3. So we shall add the two fractions. And from the mathematics, you know what we do when we add the two fractions with the different denominators. Think about the LCM. And what is the LCM of 6 and 3? It is 6. So we shall have a 60th times the LCM plus this fraction a third times the LCM by 6, 1, this is 1, by 3, 1, and this is 2. So we shall have 1 times 1, which is 1, plus 1 times 2, which is 2, out of the LCM, which is 6. And 1 plus 2, this is 3, out of 6. I told you that we can simplify this fraction. And when I have 3 out of 6, which common factor can divide the two numbers here? The common factor is 3. You see, 3 can divide 6. So we can divide here by 3. We also divide here by 3. And 3 divided by 3, this is 1. Out of 6 divided by 3, this is a 2. So, you get this? A half is our fraction. Both taps can fill in 1 minute. Now, what about, think about this. Both taps take a half. Then how do we get the minutes or the time taken? We shall get our tank represented by 1 whole divided by the fraction both taps take in 1 minute, which is a half. And do you know it? When I have 2 out of 3 divided by 3 out of 6, what do we do? The multiplication, this division changes to multiplication, but then you get the reciprocal of this fraction. The numerator becomes the denominator, and the denominator becomes the numerator. So this is 2 out of 3 times 6 out of 3. You work out this. So we are going to use the same knowledge here. 1 whole is the same as 1 out of 1. We make it a fraction times the reciprocal of 1 out of 2, which is 2 out of 1. When we are multiplying fractions, very easy. 1 times 2, this is 2 out of 1 times 1, which is 1. And 2 out of 1 is 2. So you get 2 minutes. This means that both taps, when open, or if you leave them open, at the same time, they will take 2 minutes. As simple as this. This is how we apply fractions to work out such a number. That is our example number 1. Let's now go to example number 2. Yeah, boys and girls, let's now have a look at our example 2. Tap A takes 3 minutes to fill the tank, and tap B takes 4 minutes to draw water from the tank. How many minutes will it take to fill the tank if both taps are left open. Boys and girls, as I told you when you read it for the first time, come in for the second time to help you understand what the question is all about. Tap A takes 3 minutes. So tap A takes 3 minutes. But remember, tap A fill the tank. So tap A is filling. And tap B takes 4 minutes to draw water from the tank. Meaning that tap B takes 4 minutes, but for it, it draws water from the tank. As tap A is filling, tap B is drawing. So, if this is tap A, for it, it is filling. This is tap A. Then, tap B, for it, is removing water from the tank. So, tap B, for it, it is removing. Look at my arrows. Tap A is filling. Tap B is drawing. So, if tap A takes 3 minutes and tap B is taking 4 minutes, so the only logic thing that is in this question is that one tank is filling, another one is drawing. So I think you are thinking about the operation sign we shall use. One is filling, another one is drawing. So let's now start to work out. As we said from the previous example, what fraction of the tank will tap A fill in 1 minute? In 1 minute, tap A fills what fraction of the tank? Think about it. Fills 1 out of 3. Because the time taken by tap A to fill the tank is 3 minutes. So the fraction of the tank tap A will fill will be 1 out of 3. Then, what about tap B? This time tap B does not fill, but tap B draws. So what fraction of the tank will tap B draw? Since it takes 4 minutes to draw water, so the fraction will be 1 out of 4. That is in 1 minute. Tap A fills a third. Tap B draws a quarter. What about both taps? What about both taps? So both taps, as tap A is filling a third, tap B draws water, meaning that they are not adding, they are removing. So which operation sign do we think about? Subtraction sign. So we subtract a quarter. So we are having a third minus a quarter. Let's subtract. What could be the LCM of the denominators? Because our denominators are different. So the LCM is 12. So we shall get the fraction which is a third. This is a third times the LCM. Think about our operation sign. Remember, we are subtracting because tap B is drawing water, is removing water. So we subtract a quarter times the LCM. All together there, let's work out this. 12 divided by 3, this is 4. And 12 divided by 4, this is 3. So we shall remain with 1 times 4 minus 1 times 3 out of our LCM, remember, which is 12. So what is 1 times 4? This is our 4, operation sign, minus 1 times 3 is a 3, out of our LCM, which is 12. Boys and girls, 4 minus 3, what do we get? This is 1 out of 12. So this is the fraction that both taps will take in 1 minute. Now we need the time taken. How many minutes will it take to fill the tank if both taps are left open? So if both taps fills a 12th of the tank, remember this is the fraction of the tank. So how will we get the time taken? We shall get 1 tank, which is the tank we have as a whole. We divide it into 1 out of 12, or we divide by the fraction both taps take in 1 minute. So we divide by 1 out of 12. And as we said, when we are dividing fractions, remember, the division sign changes to multiplication. But on a condition that the second fraction becomes the reciprocal. So we shall get a whole, which is 1 out of 1. The division sign changes to multiplication, and 1 out of 12 becomes 12 out of 1. And very simple, when we are multiplying fractions, numerators are multiplied together and denominators multiplied together. 1 times 12, this is 12. Out of 1 times 1, this is 1. And 12 out of 1, you get 12. So both taps will take 12 minutes. Boys and girls, you can now see how fractions are very important. So after looking at example number 1 and example number 2, we are going to attempt the exercise given, and the activity is there. Please try to attempt it. Thank you so much. Follow the examples. We meet again in the next lesson.